It's gonna go live. So, hi everyone, and welcome to the Solution Challenge Info Session for 2023. I am the lead of Google Developer Student Club at our university, and she is the core team member of our team. And let's get started. So, what is Solution Challenge? Let's go to the overview. So, Solution Challenge is basically a mission to create a solution for the 17 sustainable development goals which were created by United Nations, and it aims to end poverty and ensure prosperity and protect the planet. Let's watch a video so that you are more familiar with the sustainable development goals. Hi, please come in. All right, so that was inspiring. So basically, these were the 17 goals that you just saw, and let's move on to the next slide. Okay. So yeah, as you know, the hardest part is getting started. You never know where to start from. So let's remove some of the variables like
My
creating a
advice to
project or
my fellow
something.
developers is your solution
Just a
doesn't have
second.
to be perfect. It's not only about the code, it's also about the impact. Keep on learning.
Sorry. All right. So yeah, the hardest part is, as you know, getting started. So let's remove some of the variables like creating a project, what technologies to use, and let's just check what if our idea could do something. So let's watch a video about it. Okay, that was good. And really inspiring also. All right. Okay, so let's talk about the solution challenge timeline. Actually, the solution challenge was released in January 11th, and we had a kickoff event at on January 18th. We held this event here at our university. Some of you might have attended it. And now is like programming phase. So you have to create your solutions, your projects, and the submissions open on March 17th. So it's near, and you can submit your solutions and any of your project ideas up till March 31st. After that, your solution will be analyzed, and the top 100 global team winners will be announced on May 3rd. Actually, I talked to the GDSC uh, summit in all of the Europe, where all the GDSCs from the Europe were available, and they were. I was told that there were a lot of team that has participated. For like minimum 200 were there already, and it was 1 month back. So if you join, it would be a good competition, a healthy one, and maybe you can win. Who knows? Anyway, after May 3rd, when the top 100 teams will be announced, there will be a mentorship phase where you will be assigned mentors from Google, and they will help you build your solution and scale your solutions to a greater scale, for example, reaching out to more communities. And then your final project will be submitted in June 2. After that, there will be the second evaluation, and on June 19, the top 10 winners will be announced. And after that, those top 10 teams have to prepare for the demo day. That is the main theme of the solution challenge. And after that, on August 3, the top 3 winners will be announced, and there will be prize for that too. Okay. So I reached the prizes. So let's talk about prizes. The top 100 teams will receive customized mentorship from Google, as I told you. And you will also receive brand guides, brand t-shirts, and Google specific uh, merchandise. And the top 10 finalists are will receive additional mentorship, and of course the swags, Google cups, bags, and everything. Plus, they will be presenting all around the world at the demo day. So out of these top 10 finalists, uh, the top 7. Okay, so we will divide this into two parts. The top three finalists and the seven. The top three will receive $3,000 per person as a cash prize, and the other seven will win $1,000 cash prize per person. So also, the top three winners will be featured on Google Developers blog, and you will also get uh, job opportunities from Google because of this. So it's a really good opportunity for you to grab. Anyway, let's go to the judging criteria. So how do they judge your solutions? Actually, let's reach the technology point first. So does the team clearly describe the high level architecture, responsibility of each component, and which Google technology you use? So for example, you're building a solution, let's say related to health and well-being, and you need to mention like which Google technologies you use. For example, if you're creating an Android application, Android is a Google technology, you can mention that. If you're using Firebase as your backend, you can mention that too. And the more Google technologies you use, that that's how you will gain more points. Does the solution implement all the technical components? Sorry. So for example, do you create a good front end? Do you have a stable backend and a good database? That's what matters. Then the coding and testing part. Does the team highlight one challenge they face while building the code? So you have to mention while registering which challenges you face. So for example, your team coordination was not good. You can tell them and how you solved them. Anyway, and let's go to the impact point. So how well is your problem statement? So which problem out of the 17 SDGs you're going to solve and how? And if you describe it well while registering, it will give you more points. And if you go just through these slides, it will be uploaded on the same page that you registered for the event. And I think these are the points that are gonna matter really for the first stage. And after that, this is the project points that you're gonna get. It's the same thing. Like you have to describe your problem really good and what United Nations 17 SDGs you use and you solve, and how was your testing and feedback, how close, how does your solution address the challenge you're looking to solve for. You just have to describe it in like one paragraph, but it should be precise. And the first of all, the thing is when you register, that's what it's going to count. What you describe, how you describe your problems, that's what's going to give you the impact points. And after that, when you submit the solution, a project maybe, that's how it's going to give you the technical points. Okay. All right. Now, my co-team member, you want to present? It's your slide. Hi.
Right. So this is how you create an actual problem statement. And first we need to address 4 questions. Who is experiencing the problem? So out of all the 17 SDGs, you have to go through all of them, choose one, whichever you relate to most or you want to help out. And who is experiencing the problem and what segments of the community are you going to target and how many people are you targeting? And then what is the actual problem? So you have to describe the issue being experienced and what needs are going unmet that you are trying to target. And then where/when is the problem occurring? So here you give the context, situation, or process in which the problem exists, and why is it a problem in the first place, and why is it important for us to address this issue? So here you talk about the impact to community, region, businesses, organizations. So this is the timeline that we need to follow. First step is to join a Google Developer Student Club. So I will show you how to join later on. And then step 2, you form a team. You can have maximum of 4 people in a team. And is there a minimum? Can you?
No, you can be alone.
You can be alone. Okay. Step 3, you select any of the SDG goals. Step 4, identify a solution. Then you learn to build. You design the back end and the front end. And you test your solution, then you iterate. Then by 31st March, you have to record a demo video and submit that. And then step 9, all the 100 solutions are announced. Step 10 is the mentoring for you to advance your solution more. Then step 11 is the top 10 finalists. Step 12 will be the top 3 winners. And then step 13, yeah, that's basically it. Okay. So the FAQs. First one is, can my solution solve a problem outside the scope of the 17 SDGs? This solution challenge actually requires you to submit a solution related to the 17 SDGs. That's the point of this program, basically. So no, it has to be one of the 17. And can one student or team submit multiple submissions? No. One person can only be part of one team and have only one submission. Can I still participate in the Google Solution Challenge if there's no Google Developer Student Club at my university? Yes, you can, but luckily we have a club and you can join. And any one member of your team has to be part of the club. That's the requirement. So it doesn't, but obviously we would like all of you to be a part of it. Given the implications of social distancing, our ability to test with users was impacted. Will the judges consider this? Luckily, we don't have any more restrictions unless you're working with students outside of the country, which is also a possibility. If you have friends in other universities around the world, you can work with them. So unless you have that, I don't think social distancing is a real big issue for us. If you have any more questions, there is a FAQ page on the Solution Challenge site.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can just go to this link. Uh, Next. Okay.
So here are some overview videos which we are going to watch now for extra help. We have one about the overview of the whole goals and the ideas.
Yeah.
Hi everyone. The mission of this year's Google Developer Student Club Solution Challenge is to solve for one or more of the United Nations 17 Sustainable Development Goals using Google technology. Citing the official United Nations website, these goals are the blueprint to achieve a better and more sustainable future for all. They address the global challenges we face, including poverty, inequality, climate change, environmental degradation, peace, and justice. During this video, I will show you how you can research these goals and brainstorm ideas for your Solution Challenge project. So starting with the official UN SDG site, the first thing I suggest you do is click on each of the goals and read the challenges each goal faces. For example, Goal 1, No Poverty. This page will give you a good primer to the challenges we face on our road to no poverty. And down at the bottom of the page, you can take a look at the facts and figures and the breakdown of targets defined for each goal. There's also an infographic you can check out to get a high-level overview of the current state of things as it relates to the specific goal. Go over the rest of the goals to get familiarized with them and see if any ideas come to mind about solutions you can build using technology. If ideas do arise, write them down to brainstorm further later. Another great site that can really help you generate solution ideas is DIAL, which stands for Digital Impact Alliance. We're going to focus on two tabs, SDGs and the building blocks, but I urge you to look at the other tabs. They're just as useful for your ideation stage. Okay, so let's look at the SDGs tab and take a look at Goal 2, Zero Hunger. This goal has 8 targets, which help you focus on solving a certain aspect of the goal. For example, Target 1, which summarizes as end hunger by ensuring access by all people to good, healthy food all year round. Okay, so immediately ideas start to spark. Maybe you can build a charity app that either accepts donation-safe healthy food or accepts monetary donations dedicated to providing food. Or maybe you can build a volunteering platform that brings people together to help the community at risk. Brainstorm with your team and see what aspects of these problems you are familiar with or maybe you have access to communities who are dealing with the challenge. Having personal knowledge of a problem will allow you to design solutions which are far more effective and easier to adopt. Now, let's take a look at Goal 10, Reduced Inequalities. Target 1, achieve and sustain income growth for the bottom 40% of the population at a rate higher than the national average. What a well-defined target. Okay, so now you can start brainstorming again on how you can achieve progress through technology here. Maybe you can build an app or a platform that educates people on financial and saving strategies. Or maybe you can help small businesses grow through education apps or e-commerce and marketing apps that are specific to your community. For example, in my community, the elderly struggle with finding online educational content, and I might consider building an elderly-friendly educational platform. This platform can potentially provide the elderly with equal opportunities at learning new skills and at increasing their income. You'll see that going through these web pages will spark many ideas in your mind. Write them down and discuss them with your team. See which idea really strikes a chord with your ability and your belief. You'll be working on this for a while. You want to solve a goal that you are passionate about or that's really close to home. In the next video in the series, I'll be going through a demo case study. I'll pick up an idea and simulate the steps my team and I will take towards a successful demo submission. I hope the United Nations 17 Sustainable Development Goals inspire you to solve for your community in a meaningful way. We can't wait to see all of your demo submissions. Hi everyone, I'm Arman Hezrkani, and in this video, we'll go through the workflow of building a hypothetical solution for the Google Developer Student Club's Solution Challenge. In the previous video, we explored the United Nations 17 Sustainable Development Goals and brainstormed some sample solutions we could build. In this video, we're going to pick one of the sample solutions and together we'll quickly walk through the journey to building a successful demo. One of the ideas we came up with in the previous video was to develop an elderly-friendly education platform solving for the Sustainable Development Goal number 4, quality education. So first, I'll share my initial thoughts with my Google Developer Student Club's members. I'll introduce myself and my strengths, and I'll highlight what types of talents and experience I'm looking for in my prospective team members. For example, let's say I have solid UI UX abilities, but I need help when building the server side of my application, and I definitely need help leading the team and managing the project. Once I meet with the potential team members and some of us decide to join forces, it's time to do a design sprint. We do this in order to properly define the problem and then come up with possible solutions. For detailed instructions on this step, check out this video series. Once we're done with our design sprint, let's assume we've defined the problem as mobile apps can be too complicated for the elderly and the buttons are too small. And elderly users sometimes find the discovery stage too complicated or find the course tutor style to be too millennial oriented or fast. Also during the design sprint, we define the solution as 1, build a platform that supports the niche market of elderly education. 2, the client app should be simple to navigate and has minimal distractions, like notifications or ads. And 3, course providers can produce content specifically designed for the elderly, possibly by the elderly, thus providing a revenue stream to a usually underserved demographic. Once we've confirmed it with some potential users, it's time to start designing the user interface. We'll share this load between the team members, but I'll offer to take the lead since I believe I'm good at UX and UI. I'll share my workflow and designs, and the team will go through a few hours of feedback and revisions. This stage can take a day, or it can take a week. Don't rush to implement the solution before you're confident you've designed a workflow and functionality that solves the problem you have defined. In our design, there are 3 user types: the learner, the helper, and the teacher. And my team members are confident we're catering for all user types in the best way considering our specific market. So it's time to design the technology. We've decided to build a progressive web app instead of spending time building both a website and a native Android app. We decided to use Firebase at the backend to serve the course content to our users. At this stage, we'll probably share our thoughts with our teacher or with the DSC lead and ask for their advice on our designs and technology decisions. We'll also ask the DSC lead what workshops we should attend or what code labs we should complete, all in order to be ready for the tasks at hand. Bear in mind, this is just a quick walkthrough of this stage, so be sure to check out my videos on designing the technology or the many resources we have on the website. Next, we will spend the time to build our solution. On our team, we have a couple of members who build the progressive web app and a couple of members who build the server side, front end and back end. You might separate the tasks differently, or you might have less team members. Whatever works for you and your team is fair game. Once we have a beta version, we'll go through some user testing and we'll get feedback. We'll iterate over our code and we'll remove any bugs that we find on the platform. Now that we're close to a great working version of our solution, 1 or 2 of our team members will start researching pitching strategies and how we should present our solution in a demo. We'll record a video demo of our app. And finally, we'll warm up our acting chops and prepare an awesome demo, which will inspire people to use or recommend our app to the prospective demographic of users. And that's it. Wow. That was 2 to 3 months of effort compressed into 3 minutes. Obviously, I'm not suggesting that it'll be this easy or super quick to come up with a winning solution. But if you're passionate about your problem and your solution, and if you use resources provided such as workshops, hackathons, code labs, you'll have a high chance of developing a solution you will be very, very proud of. So good luck to all of you. Use the resources, and we can't wait to see the awesome solutions you'll come up with.
Okay. I think that was really inspiring, no?
There's tablets or even smartwatches, but this is only a part of the equation. Mine
Okay, so we do have 4 tutorial videos by the same person who did the previous ones, and I think we should go through them because they have really important points that you guys might be interested in, especially designing the interface and designing the technology. Those would be really interesting to watch. They're not that long, so don't worry.
As technologists, we build things. We build apps and websites, self-driving cars and burrito delivery services, meme generators, and, well, you get the point. But why are we doing this? What's the point of this technology? My name is Arman Hazarkani, and in this video, I plan to answer these questions and more. Welcome to the Developer Student Club's Solution Challenge. Here at Developer Student Clubs, the point of technology is to build solutions to local problems. So what makes a solution successful? What separates successful products used all around the world and products that fail to get any users? Simply put, successful solutions solve a well-defined problem and unsuccessful solutions don't. Let's look at an example. A lot of times people will jump right into building a project they're super excited about. They'll spend weeks and even months developing it, leading up to an incredible launch with 0 users. That's not great, but for some reason, this is a time-old story, and it happens to students, entrepreneurs, and even large companies. Why? Most of the time, it's because they started at the wrong place. A lot of scientists, engineers, and inventors alike start by thinking of a really cool idea rather than a really tough problem, which leads to all these really cool ideas with no real-world application. The key is to start by identifying a problem, then deciding how you want to apply technology to solve that problem. When building any project, the most important step is identifying a true problem, something that people truly feel. A lot of people don't spend enough time here because honestly, it's difficult and it's time-consuming. Like anything else though, the hardest part is getting started. So here are 3 ways I'd recommend to help begin the process. Why not just start right on your campus? Grab a pen and paper and go speak to as many students, researchers, and faculty you can find. Ask them where they spend most of their time, what they find most difficult, and what they wish they had. Over time, you'll notice some trends that you can use to define shared problems right on your campus. David Assem and his Developer Student Club in Ghana use this approach to develop a VR application for first-year students on their campus. You can also approach local businesses or NGOs. You can choose one business or organization and solve a problem specific to them, or you can choose to identify and solve a shared problem for a group of these organizations. Either way, it begins with a conversation. You can send emails or make calls, but it's often best to just go and knock on some doors. Grab that same pen and paper, hop on a bike, and ride over to these local organizations to ask them how you can help. You can also identify problems at the community level. These are problems that your community shares as a whole. One developer student club in Jakarta was in a community that suffered from floods every year, causing damage to homes and lives. They realized that if people had more time to react to the crisis, a lot of damage could be avoided. The team learned all of this by speaking to members of their community and learning about their pains. Eventually, this led to them creating an app that allowed users of a community to alert each other of oncoming floods, saving infrastructure, money, and lives. Now, I'm not sure if you noticed, but these 3 methods have one thing in common. They all start with a conversation, with a student, an organization, or any other member of your community. If you speak to enough people, you'll feel the friction in their lives, and once you do, you can identify their problems. Once you've done this, you're on your way to building a great solution that'll touch lives right in your community.
Okay. I think the second one is identifying a solution to the same problem. Yeah.
Designing the interface
Yeah,
and those
I
two
think
are-
for you guys, designing the interface is the second step.
The problem we're tackling is that college students on our campus find it difficult and time-consuming to find places to study. And our solution is a tool that lets students see study spot availability in real time. Now, this is very broad. We could end up building anything from a mobile app that lets students stream camera footage to a real-time VR experience, letting students roam around the campus library from their dorm room. Now, it's time to design how users will engage with our solution. My name is Arman Hezarkhani, and in this video, we will discuss interface design. Welcome to the Developer Student Club Solution Challenge. Interface design has 2 parts, user experience and user interface, UX and UI for short. UX covers how people will use the solution, while UI covers what the solution looks and feels like. A lot of UX is research, and this research is done in cycles. The first step in the cycle is build. The point of this step is to create a prototype that you can learn from, so don't spend time making them super detailed or beautiful. In fact, most of the time, users will be most honest with you if your prototypes don't look perfect, because it'll seem like the idea is in its early stages and more malleable. After you build, it's time to measure. For this step, you should conduct some user research. This is admittedly very difficult, so here are a few quick tips. If a participant asks you a question, take note of it, but don't answer. Pause, then respond with another question. Have 2 people from your team attend each interview. One should engage with the participant while the other is furiously writing down notes. Don't ask, hey, what do you think of my app? Instead, ask users to complete a task and take note of any friction they face in trying to complete that task. If you're building a calendar app, for example, you could ask a user to create a new event or delete an existing event. Lastly, it's time to learn. For this step, get together with your team and compile all of the feedback to see what worked and what didn't. Then, of course, it's time to repeat. After you've completed the build, measure, learn cycle enough times, you'll want to move on to building a higher fidelity mockup. This is where UI comes in. When you're thinking about UI, there are 3 things to keep in mind: design principles, design elements, and UI patterns. Design principles are things like information hierarchy and proportion. Information hierarchy is the arrangement of data such that it creates an order of importance. For example, when you're looking at someone's resume or CV, can you easily find their name? Can you easily find their work experience? If not, the document needs better information hierarchy. Design elements are things like color and shapes. These may seem simple, but their use can greatly affect design principles and the usability of your solution. For example, think about what it means for text to be highlighted as red. Good use of design principles and design elements is hard to master. Luckily, people have been doing this for a while, so your users have been trained to use tools a certain way. For example, if a user sees a square checkbox, they know they can select more than one option. If a user sees a button, they know they can click it, and if that button has a little triangle on it, clicking it will reveal more options. This is great news. It means we don't necessarily need to be professionals in color theory to design highly usable and even beautiful solutions. We can simply make use of these commonly used UI patterns. When creating any piece of technology, you should start by identifying the problem, then broadly identifying the solution. We just discussed the third step, designing the interface, which allows us to decide how a user will interact with our solution. Now, you have an interface and you're one step closer to building a great solution that'll touch lives right in your community.
And I think the last one is going to be equally as helpful, which is designing the technology itself.
When people When people think of apps, they usually think about mobile devices, laptop or desktop computers, tablets, or even smartwatches. But this is only a part of the equation. My name is Arman Hazarkani, and in this video, we will discuss what else goes into building great technology solutions. Welcome to the Developer Student Club Solution Challenge. Most applications have what's called a front end or client. This includes the mobile devices, laptops or desktop computers, tablets, and smartwatches that we know and use. There's also another side to the equation, which is called the backend or server. And most backends have multiple parts, which can mostly be bucketed into running code, data storage, and other services. Let's walk through an example. Let's say we want to build a photo sharing application. We can start by defining the client. In this case, we want it to be a web application. Then we need somewhere to host our backend and run our code. For that, we choose Cloud Functions. Cloud Functions is a tool which allows developers to write a function in Python, Node.js, or Go and trigger it over the internet. It also handles all of the scaling for us, so it's really good for beginners looking to develop web applications. We also need somewhere to store our user information, like usernames. For that, we can use Firebase Firestore. This is a NoSQL database which is fully managed, meaning that it handles all the scaling for you. Lastly, we need to store our photos somewhere. For that, we'll use Firebase Storage. This is Firebase's file storage system, allowing you to store photos on the cloud. Just like that, we designed our photo application. What if we wanted to add photo searching functionality, like in Google Photos? To do that, we can use the Cloud Vision API. The Cloud Vision API uses advanced machine learning, and it'll allow us to automatically create tags for all of the images, letting us search through all of our photos with key terms. What if we have a bit more experience programming and want to use a popular web framework like Django, Express.js, Ruby on Rails, or Spring? In that case, we can use App Engine. This is Google Cloud's Platform as a Service tool, which allows you to upload your code and it handles everything else for you. Lastly, we might want to add different types of clients that each interact with the backend, giving our users access to their photos on all of their devices. Like anything else, this is much easier said than done. So to help you actually make these decisions, we've created a three-step process. First, we make a list of all of our considerations or constraints. Make a list of everything that might impact how this product is built. That means everything, from how the user will use it to what your team's technical experience is. Next, you should do research and make a list of all the tools that you may use. To see a list of all of Google's developer products, go to developers.google.com/products and browse around to see what tools fit your needs. The last step is actually designing the technology. For this step, take out a piece of paper and a marker and divide it like so. In each part of the grid, you'll write what tools you'll use and what purpose they will serve. When creating any piece of technology, the point is to solve a problem. You should start by identifying that problem, then identifying the solution to that problem. After that, you should define how a user will actually interact with the solution. We just discussed the last step, designing the technology, and now you're ready to build a great solution that'll touch lives right in your community. So what are you waiting for?
Okay, so these were the top 10 winners from 2022, and these are their demo videos, and they're available on YouTube for everyone to watch if you want a, like how to make a demo video. These are really good. Let's go more into extrinsic. That's the last one on the top row.
Extrinsic was one of the top 3 winners in of 2022.
They basically targeted the third sustainable goal, which was good health and
absolutely inspired right now by all of these projects, and there's such an amazing work on display. I wanted to talk about Extrinsic from Germany. This project actually represents a cross-country collaboration with a teammate from Ukraine, showcasing a special way to support those impacted by the ongoing conflict in that region. This application is a tool for mental health research and therapy. It adapts to your environment. It adapts your environment to your personal habits and needs. Using a wearable device and TensorFlow, the team aims to detect and help users get through their struggles throughout the day and at night with behavioral suggestions. So please let's welcome Alexander Cikordili, Emma Bandisch from the Faculty of Engineering Albert Ludwigs Universität Freiburg in Germany.
Stress, anxiety, nightmares, trouble getting out of bed, and many other negative events can make us so vulnerable that we might not be able to find the required internal motivation to overcome them. Studies show that an extrinsic factor, like if the lights turn blue or our favorite song gets played, can interrupt a stress event and drastically accelerate the relaxation process.
Consulting with a group of psychologists and cooperating with the Stiller project, we created an app for Android and Wear OS called Extrinsic. This app works with a smartwatch equipped with Google Health Services. Using Stiller algorithms powered by the Google Machine Learning Kit, we use the health data to help detect negative events, which then automatically triggers an action by the Google Assistant that would then create a relaxing environment preset or predefined by the user.
Many refugees who experienced a traumatic event suffer from sleep disorder and nightmares. The user can activate the nightmare detection in the app and select his favorite song or music before falling asleep. The nightmare detection monitors the sleep cycle, activity, and stress level of the user during his sleep.
Once the physiological symptoms of having a nightmare are detected by the app, a command would be sent automatically to the Google Assistant to play the relaxing music, which would act as an extrinsic factor to interrupt the nightmare experience and help the user have a better sleep, which would improve his general health. On the next day, the user can rate his sleeping experience to track his improvement. He also has the possibility to share his sleeping data with his doctor or therapist. We are in contact with other projects and institutions to help improve existing features and develop new ones. We truly believe that wearable devices with the help of Google products can make a positive impact on mental health therapy. Thank you so much.
All right, so once we upload these slides onto the website, you feel free to check out all the other videos, and you can be inspired by the other groups and their solutions. These are the 2021 Solution Challenge winners, and you should feel free to watch all of these as well for more ideas and help on what the technologies they used, how they implemented the solutions. So these are some things the past participants have said. Okay, so Android. Developing an Android app from Android Studio is so easy and enjoyable. Android Studio's new features, including Flash, Run, and constraint layout help us build our app faster, easier, and better. We develop our app with the aid of Google's Cloud Labs, which are so useful and easy to follow. Flutter. Flutter helped us to become more productive. It helped me to build these apps with less code and less worrying about the basic features. The hot reload features really saved a lot of my time. Google Cloud Platform. GCP allows the apps to be 100% deployable on the cloud. With that vast features available and readily available integration of the machine learning online, GCP allows us to be ready for every stage of employment, ultimately worldwide deployment at multiple regions in multiple countries. Firebase. I love Firebase more because of its easiness and scalability and the approaches that we can do. It's smooth, fast, and amazing. It made me say goodbye to SQL and move towards the NoSQL database as it's more robust, easy to use, and powerful. TensorFlow. TensorFlow is one of the open source tools we use to perform supervised learning for detection. TensorFlow is a really easy tool to use to get started. We chose to use TensorFlow because it is easy to build neural networks using it. It has a comprehensive, flexible ecosystem of tools, libraries, and community resources that lets researchers push the state of the art in ML and helps developers to easily build and deploy ML-powered applications. And yeah, these are some ways you can use in your solution. I'm so sorry.
Okay. So yeah, we will be holding more technical events, and in which you will be learning about these technologies like Firebase and Google Cloud Platform. And I think it will be really helpful for you in your future and maybe in your projects too.
This is the 2022 Solution Challenge demo day, and I think you guys should also go through the videos for these once we upload them.
On this day, all the three winners were announced, and they were given prestigious awards, and they were also showcased on the Google Developers platform.
And that's the same thing for the 2021 Solution Challenge demo day. And yeah, we can't wait to see the solutions you guys come up with. And don't limit yourself to just people in this faculty. You can work with anyone you want, anywhere around the world. As long as one of you is a member of a GDSC club, that's all right. That's fine.
You can just scan the
And
QR code here
yeah, you
and
can
register for the event.
you click on the link.
Okay, yeah, it's the same link that I showed you.
Can you zoom in?
Wait a second. Okay. Yes, you have already registered for this? Yeah, that's a good thing. You have been a part of our club or any of the team members. Oh, okay. But okay, so you are already a part of our club, right? Okay, that's good then. Okay. I will show you how to join the club too, but this is the link that's gonna take you to this page. I will. Okay.
Do you guys have any questions? Anyways, if you have any questions later on, you can feel free to reach out to any of us.
Yes, you can just contact us on our same page, the GDSC Community Dev, and you can reach out to us with any of the questions. And if you need help with your projects too, you can reach out to us, and we'll be glad to help. Thank you so much for
And
attending
I
the
think
event.
you should follow our social medias. the social medias?
Oh yeah. So you can also join us on YouTube and Instagram and every social media. You just have to type GDSC Unideb and you will reach us. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys for attending.